Good morning, Randeep.
Good morning, Shankar.
So finally, we are here after a long series of chats leading up to this, and I'm quite excited for this call actually. This going. I mean, I'm looking for your witty dose of humor and on these serious topics that we have. But nonetheless, I do hope some. I mean, people get inspiration from this. All right. On that front, I mean, Randeep, I know that your title says head of procurement. What does that mean for, say, a third officer, so to speak?
So let me rephrase that. It is not head of procurement. I'm the category head.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to
No,
because
that's okay. That's okay.
right. So it's the category head
Okay.
in procurement,
Okay.
and so the category head entails overseeing the categories which I am uh, looking after. Typically, they
Mm-hmm.
are travel, IT, husbandry agencies, and some part of I'm also doing R&M with respect to, LSFFA suppliers and navigations. So these are some of
Okay.
the categories what I'm looking after.
Couple of doubts on that. If you could
Sure.
just elaborate what is a husbandry agency and also what you mentioned R&M. What are these topics?
Okay, so R&M, has, the abbreviation R&M, so repair and maintenance, So as, all the seafarers would be aware, uh, equipment on board is as good as it is maintained. Now,
Okay.
the third officer would carry out, the daily, weekly, monthly checks on his LSFFA. But should it require shore assistance, right?
Okay.
That is where, we get contracts into place with suppliers
Mm,
who are approved by class flag to
mm.
carry out repairs, annuals on those LSFFA or navigation equipments.
Okay. Okay. So R&M is repairs and maintenance. Uh,
Repairs and maintenance.
And okay, and to the first one, agency and husbandry.
Yeah. So I think in the maritime industry, husbandry services, they refer to a kind of a support and logistic services which are given to a vessel when she's in port. So the term, the ship husbandry, it means,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of, the management of the ship's need.
Okay.
And typically, it's quite a wide band of services within husbandry services, right? From crew change, CTM, provisions and stores, waste removal, port clearance, transportation. So usually the port, agents uh, who are based locally,
Mm-hmm.
what I do is we enter into long-term contracts with
Okay.
these, agents to ensure, we are able to turn around our vessels smoothly in port and
Mm.
are fully compliant.
So, I mean, as a seafarer, when you're joining a vessel, the agents any seafarer interacts with, they are part of your ambit.
That is correct. That is correct. So it's, I call it from door to deck, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So from the person he leaves the house,
Uh-huh.
as soon as he takes the flight from the international airport,
Uh,
he lands into a new country.
uh,
He's picked up, those placards at the airport,
uh.
and right till time he's placed on board, all that is part of the husbandry agency.
Okay. And just out of curiosity, what about the provisions? Are they also something that's part of this umbrella or that's separate?
So provisions, there's a separate department, and I don't oversee that. There's a separate
Okay.
department for provisions.
Okay. All right. All right, let's go way back. How did shipping happen to you?
Oh, okay, so shipping happened to me. Now let's go back. I'm 1979 keel laid, right? End of 1979, and well, plus add 15, 16 years, and you come into your 90s. So
Mm-hmm.
you want to become an engineer, you want to become a doctor, or you want to become a pilot. IT was just knocking on the door at that point.
Mm,
So, you know, merchant navy, hey, this is this profession. My uncle was there,
mm,
and he said, would you like to, join? I used to see him when I was growing up, coming from contracts and getting me, my cars, the toy cars, etc. So it was, I'm like, why not, try, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the internet was very, very nascent at that point.
Okay.
We don't have the Instagram and, the YouTube channels what we have today.
Mm-hmm.
So, it came from the most respected person in my family after my parents. It was my uncle. If he's saying that, yes. So I went in blindly into it. To be honest, I didn't have to look for a job. It was on a plateau for me, and
Mm-hmm.
joined the first ship as a cadet. Hopped from Mumbai airport to China, just across the border. My f- and That was 1998, 25th of June, Seafarers Day. At that time, there was no Seafarers Day. Normally, but 25th June, I think is Seafarers Day. So that is when the
Okay.
shipping bug hit me, and
Uh-huh. And when you joined I mean, the first vessel and then third officer, second officer, did you at that point in time think that you would transition out of a seafaring, or I mean, at that point in time, what, if you remember, what were your thoughts like?
yeah, no, I was very clear. So when I joined my first ship as a cadet, I wanted to be a captain by 30,
Okay.
31.
Mm,
That was my goal.
mm,
And I did achieve that.
mm,
Uh, I wanted to give back to the shipping industry,
mm,
12, 13 years of sailing,
mm,
what it taught.
mm,
And opportunities in shipping industry at that time were very, very less for sure. It was typically, a superintendent or a QHSE auditor. Although today, these opportunities have really, really blossomed into quite a few different, verticals. I mean, you're also doing something very different in shipping industry, right?
yes.
Yeah, which is not there 25 years back.
Okay. And I mean, so let's talk about the part that I mean, you became a master, and then how did that switch happen?
So
Yeah, what decisions helped you, or what were, even let's even discuss the inhibiting factors, because I mean, you're a master. You are a master. I mean, not just a master, the title, but also a master of what you're doing. And from there to leave your securities, being able to, as an individual, you know what you can do, and then leaving that and transitioning to something else. Let's also discuss the inhibiting factors and also what contributed to you propelling forward.
yeah, so I think I was very clear that from the time I get my command, I just don't want to do 1 month as a captain and get off, just get that stamp. I was clear I wanted to get some experience, you know, in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So as a captain of a ship, you are juggling different departments. You are doing finance, you are doing ops, you are doing HR, you are doing, you know, to an extent media. You're meeting up with, the port officials, the pilots, etc. So it's a gambit of master a lot of skills, but this requires a little bit of finesse, right?
Okay, right.
And I felt that I wanted to do much more rather
Mm-hmm.
than just be, sailing for the next 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I planned for the inhibitor. One of the factor was I wanted to grow more. Now, as a captain on board sailing, you know, you can't. There's no more growth. That's at 30,
Mm-hmm.
31. I'm done.
Yeah, you. Mm,
Now I need to take a rational call. If I have to come ashore, I have to again start from down. So
mm-hmm.
it was a known decision.
Mm,
Yes, family comes there. Your
mm,
family misses you,
mm,
etc., etc.
mm,
But the point of, I think, the inflect point was I used to see a lot of owners, representatives,
mm,
people coming on board,
mm,
right?
mm,
Some of them were clueless,
mm,
yeah,
mm,
because they're just sitting in the office. And I
mm,
felt that, we as master mariners or chief engineers, we
mm,
have so much of domain knowledge.
mm,
We should be the ones sitting, you
mm,
know,
mm.
in the
Yeah,
office
in
and
these
giving
offices.
back and,
Mm-hmm.
making the path, for the
Okay.
people ashore. So all that required a little bit of finesse, like I said. I
Mm-hmm.
planned to take my MBA.
Mm.
And 2 years before I actually started my college, MBA does not come cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a seafarer, you're only paid when you're working. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
sure, you just,
Meter down.
yeah, meter down, meter up, right? So
Uh,
I planned 2 years earlier, saved, and then enrolled myself into an MBA program at ISB, Indian School of Business, Hyderabad.
okay.
And that is how my, journey from, one foot on the ship, one foot
Mm-hmm.
still in, on land. That is how my journey moved.
So, couple of questions on the ISP front. I mean, which course did you do, and how was your cohort like? What were those interactions like, and where did you find yourself in, say, the pecking order in the classroom in terms of experience, in terms of what you have seen in life, and so forth?
So I did the PGP Max program, which is the postgraduate program in management for senior executives. It's a ISB is a premier executive MBA, uh, based out of India, out of Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the target audience for the peer group from the ISB perspective was that you need to have minimum of 15 years of experience.
Oh,
Your
okay,
age is between 35 to 50.
okay.
Program duration was about 15 months, in a modular format.
Mm-hmm.
Now, locations were as Hyderabad and Mohali campus, beautiful campuses.
Mm-hmm.
And this required, 7 days of residence course
Mm.
for every 6 weeks.
Okay.
Uh, the curriculum was, leadership, strategy, innovation, finance, global business, etc. Now, from a peer group, uh, this is what I would like to tell our seafarers, we don't sell ourselves properly. We always undervalue ourselves. My peer group was of CXO CEO level
Mm,
from Philips,
mm,
from Cipla, from a couple of other MNCs. And
mm,
the sheer experience what we have as a master mariner,
mm,
and when we come ashore,
mm,
my peer group, they were amazed as to what we do and
mm.
how we do it. So
Okay.
there's so much of a gap, knowledge
Mm,
gap
mm,
between what we do
mm,
and what people perceive what shippies do. So the peer group was, like from founders, we had people
mm,
from startups,
mm.
so it was a very diverse industry. And I was the only one from the maritime industry,
Okay, you are the only participant.
only
Okay,
participant from the
okay.
maritime industry.
You used an interesting word in between. You said how maritime is perceived. Can you I mean, shed light on that? At least in your experience, how is it perceived?
Yeah, see, you know, typically, I've been a master on large container vessels. And when somebody asked me, hey, so you were on a boat? I said, I was
Mm-hmm.
not on a boat. Right. I mean,
Uh,
I don't blame them, right? And I think over the years, it's just been for the last 3, 4 years that our
mm,
government is also now putting emphasis on, opportunities for the seafarers and trying to get more trainees out of India.
mm,
India has been one of the largest seafaring, uh, you know, country
mm,
providing services to, the ship owners. And those who are not in sync with what happens on the ships.
mm.
So they feel that, we go out in every port, the ship is in port for 20, 30 days, way back in 60s or 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I tell them, hey, I did a ship, we did 7 ports in 4 days, and they're like, what? So that is the gap, and I don't blame them. It's just about
Mm-hmm.
the sheer gap of knowledge we as seafaring community uh,
Mm,
don't, translate to the people ashore. What only people see is that dollar. He comes back with a
mm,
BMW car.
mm, mm.
That is what people perceive, and that's a notion which needs to change.
How, as seafarers, can we contribute to deciding how that narrative is? Because everything depends on what narrative we propagate.
Yeah. So I think I'll put it in a very transparent way. How I felt, maybe my opinion is, what's a parole, right? A parole.
Mm-hmm. Curfews and paroles you're referring to.
Right,
Yeah.
parole. Yeah. So now a person is in parole for say few months, no freedom, can't spend. As soon as you remove that parole, he comes out. He or she comes out. So you have the money, you have that freedom, you have that time.
Mm,
Because when you're ashore, when you're
mm,
back home, every day is a Sunday.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you want to enjoy because you have missed out during your parole time on board vessels.
Mm,
Depends, right?
mm, mm,
So people perceive, hey, this guy is having a good life. But they don't see that the other person was at home from Monday to Sunday, 5 months.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
because he's gone out on every weekend, but this person has not gone out on every weekend, he wants to
Mm-hmm.
make up for what he's lost.
Okay, okay.
So that perception, we need to, in a way, be little more, in a way, toned down
Mm,
as to how we, put ourselves outside, because
mm,
people feel that this guy comes, he's loaded with
mm,
dollars,
mm,
he spends,
mm.
money is over, you go back. That is how the people perceive shippies.
Okay, okay, okay. All
And of
right.
course, if I'm allowed to say on this platform that a person has a girlfriend in every port, which is just not the case, right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
just not the case,
One of the most faithful men I have seen was during my seafaring time and not necessarily in the office right now.
right? I mean, like I said, less is more. I mean, we all have seen that, right? We all have seen that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I
Okay,
think
okay.
shippies value relationships much more because they know what they're
Absolutely.
missing.
Yes, yes. Okay. Ah, okay. There's so much to ask. So, I mean, let's go back to ISB. After ISB, where did you transition to? What was your first stint
Yeah.
onshore?
So during ISP, I got a job with this a company who was selling software solutions for the maritime industry, HSEQ. And that's something which is it's a seamless transfer rather from ship to shore, the first shore
Mm-hmm.
job. Because as a master on board, you are doing your HSEQ on a day-to-day basis. You are doing your RA. Now you're trying to sell that and convince to a ship owner to buy the software,
Okay, okay.
right? So we put in our expertise or domain knowledge into that product.
Mm-hmm.
From a sales pitch,
Mm.
I did cold calls. Uh,
Okay.
so I did cold calls.
Uh,
I mean, we all have got cold calls. So what do? We just hang up.
yes,
I've been
yes.
on the other side of the phone also. So,
Okay.
good morning, sir. This is Captain Randeep,
Uh,
calling from
uh,
BBC company, and tuck, So knocked on the doors, with my bag,
uh,
trying to show the demo. So I've done
uh,
all that. I've done
uh.
all that, rejected, learned the no hundreds of times. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that it's a perseverance. You keep pushing slowly, politely, try and sell
Okay,
because
okay.
you have the domain knowledge, and no, nothing can beat domain knowledge. That is what I
Correct.
would want at Seafarers. So, you could have a person who's a guy who's in sales. Yes, he can sell,
Mm-hmm.
but the domain knowledge can only be given or earned
Mm.
by a shipping. So
Why
if you
should
have
be?
a mix of both, I think it's a win-win for. And there are a lot of shipping industries, ship captains, etc., chief officers, who are
Mm.
now spearheading the sales, in the maritime
Okay.
software industry right now.
Okay, okay. So that's again something that a seafarer can aspire to do when they come ashore.
Yes. So I think they should need to be very clear as to why they want to come ashore. It's you've said it's a
Mm,
funny thing that in the rat race,
mm,
people join on ship.
mm,
They come back, take exams, go back,
mm,
ask the office promotion, promotion, promotion.
mm, mm,
You get your promotion.
mm,
Now, show job, show job, show job.
mm.
Uh,
Yeah, that's the pipeline.
that's the
It's a
pipeline.
mm,
Now, now let's, in a way, I'm not saying compare
mm,
a ship chief engineer or a captain and a pilot.
mm,
A pilot also earns his ranks. We have sea months,
mm, mm.
they have flying hours,
Correct,
right?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, chokes on to chokes off.
Mm,
Now, seldom you will see pilots retiring and coming into the office. Because see, when you have worked so hard
mm, mm,
at the
mm,
MMD and DG shipping. I mean, for
mm,
those guys
mm,
who
mm,
pass out of India,
mm,
I'm from the function one, function two of early 2000. It was
mm.
not easy going to DG shipping and MMD,
Yeah, yeah,
right? It
yeah.
was not easy.
It's a
You just,
humbling experience.
it's humbling. Yeah. I mean, you can just leave your ego outside the door.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, so if a person has worked his way up to become a
Mm,
master or chief engineer,
mm, mm,
you know,
mm,
enjoy that for a while.
mm,
That is where your actual ROI comes. Because
mm,
till the time you are climbing your ranks,
mm.
vacation, seat, courses, examinations, you're just giving
Mm.
back to the system.
Okay.
Probably from a mate onwards, you
Mm.
actually end up start saving properly.
Correct. Correct.
Right? Yeah. And you, of course, you tend to get a little more, level-headed, more
Mm,
matured. Do I want it or do I
mm,
need it? That is where the
mm, mm,
differentiation
mm,
comes
mm,
in.
mm. And it could also be a difference. I mean, you use the word maturity. It could also be understanding, am I running away from something or am I running towards something?
Right.
That kind of transition. Okay. I also, I mean, I know that you've been in the fleet department in the management company, and as a seafarer, normally you cuss at or you crib about what the fleet department does. What was your experience like? What are the challenges that you face there?
So I think my journey during the FPD in the Manning was during the peak of COVID.
Ah,
Yeah. So COVID taught us, number one, the true picture of people comes out, that you can
okay.
be sitting poles apart,
Mm,
and
mm,
if the will is there to do a crew change, you
mm,
can do it.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm,
because see, offices were shut, everything was shut.
mm, mm, mm,
We had to charter flights.
mm.
There were no SOPs written for a pandemic. The
Yeah.
previous pandemic was in 1915 or 1918, I think the Spanish flu, right? So
Ah, okay.
yeah,
Huh, huh.
there is no SOP for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
pandemic as such. What do you,
yeah.
what do you do?
Mm,
Right.
mm,
So we had to work 90 days
mm.
in advance to do a crew
Okay.
change because
Okay.
of the geopolitical situation, India and China. So
Mm-hmm.
for China and most of the vessels call China for a port
Mm,
call,
mm, mm,
be it a container, be it a bulky or a tanker.
mm,
So we had to span out 90 days in advance.
mm, mm,
So if the person leaves India, put him
mm.
in quarantine,
Okay.
14 to 21 days, get him vaccinated. After
Okay.
vaccination, also you do your 14 days of, isolation. So I remember, it was a joke that I almost did my MBBS, so I was like Dr. Captain Randeep Sachdev, like IgG, IgM, because we had to decipher the reports and
Mm-hmm.
then try to explain to the agents or to the
Mm,
authorities.
mm-hmm.
So it was a very taxing time, but I'm so glad I was part of the COVID time in
Mm,
FPD, where
mm-hmm.
where we helped people who were on board to come back home,
Mm,
to their loved ones,
mm,
and for a person who was at home and could not
mm,
go back,
mm-hmm.
you
Correct.
have EMIs to pay, you have families to feed.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, how do you do all that?
Okay.
So the experience as a master, you
Mm,
know,
mm,
the MBA, I mean, all that
mm,
thought, gave that insights or that forethought as to what we can do out of the
mm.
box to ensure we do a crew change and we don't get our vessels stopped. Remember, the charter rates were $300,000 per day, $1,000 per day.
Yeah, yeah. They can't afford to.
Owner said very, very clear, don't stop the vessel.
Mm,
They do what it takes to do a crew change. I mean, we have pulled out people out of retirement. You have a COC? Yes.
uh,
Where are you? I'm in some, hill station. I've
uh,
retired. Can you
uh.
please come back? Because Indians could not join. This
Okay.
was the challenge. What do? You have to move the ships. You have to do a crew
Mm-hmm.
change.
Mm-hmm.
Crew are saying it's 11 months, we're not getting off. We want to get off.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, these were the challenges what we had. And I'm so glad I was part of that FPD. There is no, sense of achievement rather, but that satisfaction
Mm.
that somebody could come home. We had
Okay,
unfortunately
okay,
some people whose parents passed away.
okay,
I had a chief officer who called me up 55 times, and every time I took his call because I
okay.
knew he can't come ashore. He was in China in COVID,
Uh.
and I said if I don't take his call, what
Uh.
he just said, FPD, how the people feel.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
took his every call, 55 calls. So, like I
Okay.
said, if there is a will, there is a way.
Uh-huh.
You can do it.
Okay, okay. Ah, man, I can't imagine how it must have been. I mean, on either side, even on the person, I mean, who's on board and even for people ashore. Okay, and then I mean, how did you move from say FPD to managing spares? I mean, people to managing spares and procurement.
So I think it's about how you're managing, people, be
Mm,
it on the procurement side or
mm,
be it on the FPT side. I felt at that point that in my CV, I can't better. a pandemic. I have done what it took to change in pandemic. You can't bet on it. You can't bet on it. If a next pandemic comes, now SOPs are in place. You know what to do.
Hmm, hmm,
Uh, our chairman and Angad Banga, they are very, very clear as to how they see the company.
hmm,
Very good vision.
hmm,
And there was an opening in procurement department as a
hmm,
category. It was a new
hmm,
department, just
hmm,
and I thought of, hey, why not look into more on the little on the business side.
hmm, hmm,
So I'm a people person.
hmm,
Here I'm speaking with crew. Now, yes,
hmm,
there's a different gambit of trying to
hmm,
convince suppliers.
hmm,
So I moved to the, you know, I had two questions I was asked, and it was I think it's been a very, very rewarding experience from respect to how, again, the domain knowledge which what we have,
hmm.
the suppliers now can't take us for a ride. I mean,
Okay, okay.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so.
Uh, I mean, you use the word convince suppliers in between. So how does it work? I mean, you have a certain requirement that comes from a vessel, and then you have to reach out to the certain
No.
geographies or
So so I'm a category head. So what I don't do a day-to-day operations part, right?
okay,
What we do is we enter into long-term contracts
okay,
in the categories what I'm handling, right?
okay.
So let's take, for example, husbandry agency, right?
Hmm,
Now, husbandry agency entails a person from door to deck.
hmm,
So we try to benchmark the cost
hmm,
of a person when he arrives into that country,
hmm,
the time he's placed on board.
hmm, hmm,
So there's meet and greet, transportation,
hmm, hmm,
hotels, which hotels do you have? What are the custom charges? What are immigration charges? Also the logistics part, the space cost. Yeah. So typically what happens is you have like the big agencies.
hmm,
So they'll have they say they are global.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Actually, it's more of an aggregator.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Now, you and I are sitting here in the offices. We are aware as to what's happening in Andheri Powai area.
Yeah, yeah.
But if there's something happening in Bhivandi, we have no
Hmm.
clue.
No clue. Correct.
Yeah. Now, if we are a company, hey,
Hmm,
we are a big company out of Mumbai, we know what's
hmm,
happening.
hmm.
But then we're just trying to get the business.
Okay.
What my approach was, I went from a global to a
Hmm.
local, to more a local person.
Okay,
Who's global
okay.
yet
Hmm, hmm,
local.
hmm,
So instead of having just one or two suppliers, because see,
hmm,
you have so many ports in a country.
hmm, hmm, hmm,
Yeah. So
hmm.
there is no agency in the world who can have a footprint in every port.
Correct, correct.
One, it's not viable.
Hmm, hmm,
Number two, is it to do with the sheer volume of port calls? Yeah.
hmm,
So what we did was we analyzed and sliced our data
hmm,
of our port calls for the
hmm,
last 3 years.
hmm.
COVID was not was a point where the port calls was on a case to case. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so to use that historical data and
Hmm,
try and forecast was very, very difficult because as the trade changes, the
hmm,
geopolitical situation.
hmm,
So
hmm,
you had to have some assumptions in place,
hmm, hmm,
with in the categories what you're handling,
hmm,
and then try to benchmark those costs. The idea is more to have like a menu book.
hmm, hmm,
If
hmm.
my crew needs to go from A to B,
Hmm.
you have those rates known. So there are no shocks,
Okay, okay.
surprises, when you get a bill.
Okay. I mean, okay, we are discussing into the weeds of the financials here. So, say, and again, I want to connect this to a seafarer, say a second officer or a chief officer, or even for an engineer for that matter. If they are to say, if there's an opening in your team, and if they were to join your team, what do you think would be the first challenge that hits them? Because instantly I can think of that they have at least sailing, you don't have much of a clue of the dollar value of what you're getting. And then you're put in a team where you have to get the best price. So, how is that transition? I'm sure you mentored a few people who have done this transition. And in your first-hand experience, what are the challenges they faced and what mental models they had to use to kind of overcome that?
I think the first point is get a common sense when you come to the office.
If only it
That's
was possible. Okay.
all. Yeah. So sometimes they say, common sense is uncommon. So that
Yeah,
is where
yeah.
the challenge comes in. Uh, it has to do with, you trying try and break down a bigger problem into smaller problems. That is
mm,
what I do. Explain to them. People require handholding also. This is
mm,
what you need to do. If you have a doubt, come back. So for a second mate or third mate, they are aware of their challenges when they were joining a vessel. In
mm,
some port, agent did not
mm,
do
mm,
this, he did not get a
mm, mm,
taxi, he was waiting.
mm,
So when he or she comes back,
mm,
they have some kind of understanding. Number
mm,
one, of the maritime industry.
mm,
Second mate, you are good, 7, 8 years into already in the
mm,
industry.
mm, mm,
You are aware as to how, a ship moves,
mm,
what are the challenges in place.
mm, mm,
And it is just to put your common sense. It's not rocket science. I mean,
mhm. Of course, of
there
course.
is, there is nothing as rocket science in this world.
Okay,
You
okay.
can, if you put if the will is there,
Mhm, mhm,
you
mhm.
can achieve, the impossible.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So I mean, let's just zoom out a bit. In the sense, procurement as well. I know that in your organization, you're kind of leading it, and you're based out of India. But globally speaking, there are a lot of large shipping companies who have offices in India. But do you think procurement is by and large based out of India, or it's again maybe in their headquarters somewhere in Europe or Singapore? How is that spread like?
I think this it's quite diverse. Some of the now from maritime industry, like the Maersk has its major uh, procurement department out of Mumbai. So
Okay.
does some of the other bigger shipping industries. So up to a particular level,
Mm-hmm.
so you have the shared services in procurement. So you have the categories management, and then you have the shared services.
Mm-hmm.
Two different, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
branches or arms of
Streams, yeah.
profit streams. So most of these verticals are in India or are coming to India. I would,
Okay. So
yes,
you would say that the momentum is towards
yes,
India.
yes, yeah. So I think a lot of companies, not only from procurement, right, even other
Mm-hmm.
departments. So we are moving away from typically having a superintendent or an auditor
Mm.
into quite a few other streams within the industry. And those
Okay.
jobs are coming back into, India, especially in Mumbai and Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai.
Okay. Okay. So now is a good time to kind of look at these arenas.
Yes.
Okay. So let's again come back to seafarers. I want to break it down. If I'm a seafarer today, I get inspired by this conversation. I think that, this negotiation and the financials and nitty-gritties and making ship things happen is what I want to do. Do I have to glean off from this conversation that I have to do an MBA, or there are other no, I mean, a specific knowledge that I can gain even without an MBA? Point question number one. Question number two, what can I do when I'm on board today to help me build my muscle for this kind of role?
Okay. So,
Two questions there.
right. Now, when you come ashore for a seafarer, right? Like I said in the beginning of our conversation, as a, you are a master, you're a jack of all trades,
Mm,
but you're master of nil,
correct.
right? You know, you have a lot of thoughts in your mind, but that requires a little more of structuring. Yeah. MBA gives you that structured understanding of, your finance, strategy,
Mm,
marketing, operations,
mm,
etc.
mm,
And you see things from different lens.
mm.
That is, I think, the number one takeaway. What I would tell, you know,
Seafarer.
the seafarers, you see it from a different lens. Until the time you don't, be in those shoes,
Mm,
it's very difficult for a person to understand. Hey, what can an MBA do?
okay.
Yes, there's a lot of self-learning
Mm,
you can do there. Today's time, there are a lot of courses you can, take.
mm, mm,
Sometimes I feel that classroom and that peer-to-peer interaction
mm,
is what makes that difference. It's not that studies, the classroom lectures, but it's that
mm, mm.
peer-to-peer interaction which you know gives you that a fresher perspective.
Okay. Okay. So MBA adds that value.
It adds,
Definitely.
you think,
Okay.
yeah, because you see from a different lens.
Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Uh, Question number two, which was what can I do as a seafarer today to build my muscle when it comes to the role that you are doing?
Number one is that be very, very clear that once you come back ashore, there is no Benjamin Franklin, there is no dollars.
Mm, mm,
You're getting INR rupees, you are
mm,
taxed.
mm,
You
mm.
need to first curtail your expenses,
Okay.
have decent amount of savings.
Mm,
If you have your savings, or investments going on,
mm,
that should continue. But you need to look into what I'm going to get out of my job.
mm,
A lot of seafarers come ashore and in a 1 year or so, they want to go back sailing because it
mm,
becomes very, very difficult to, uh, adapt yourself to the new job profile.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm,
So be very clear as to why you want to come ashore.
mm,
But if you've come ashore,
mm,
take it that you will be not paid handsomely how you were paid on board.
mm, mm, mm,
And you need to make that conscious decision to change yourself and also have support from your family. For those who are married with children, it's not that easy.
mm,
So
mm.
there's an opportunity cost and there's a sunk cost. So for the
Sorry,
first two
what
to
was
three,
the second word you used?
so sunk cost.
Sunk cost. Okay, sunk cost fallacy.
So, so, for a while, you know, if you had I sailed, I would have earned this much. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sailing, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, that both the
Delta.
delta it reduces.
Okay, okay. So it's not that, yeah, you have to make peace with earning less throughout your life. You eventually grow just like you have grown from a cadet or a junior engineer to a
Correct,
higher ups. Okay.
correct. And I think number two is leave your. I dropped my rank. I'm in the
Okay.
office. I've told my team, don't call me captain. Call me my
Uh,
first name, Randeep.
uh-huh.
Yes, captains, that stays with me till my grave.
Uh-huh.
But the reason why I've dropped that rank is because it I have broken those barriers. You know,
Mm, mm,
people are more open to discuss. Otherwise a
mm,
captain or a colonel, you have
mm,
that you have that
mm,
wall which you built
mm.
around yourself.
You're on a pedestal of sorts.
And you're still, yeah. So,
Fantastic point. Not many
and
touch upon that actually.
yeah, you have to drop your rank. And I remember when I came ashore, we have that typical aisle of we all are sitting together. You can have an
Mm-hmm.
executive sitting with you, so
Mm-hmm.
you have to leave your ego out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Randeep, I know that you're also, if I'm not wrong, you are also in charge of IT procurements.
yeah.
So, and I'm fairly certain that the new breed of seafarers are very tech savvy. And before they get into, say, procuring services, I mean, procuring for services, they would be much, I mean, quite interested in also the IT procurement part of it. So, how was that experience for you? Because as a seafarer, I mean, you weren't doing a lot of IT procurement, you were using it at best. So, how was that journey for you? And uh, what's the difference between, say, procuring for a service like husbandry and LSA FFA repairs and maintenance compared to IT procurement?
Well, we all love our gadgets, right? But
Mm-hmm.
now typically what it involves is so there's a blend of you are doing long-term contracts with OEMs for your laptop servers, networking equipments, to software licensing, then also for your IT services or your cloud infrastructure. So procurement, and I want to touch upon that. When I moved from FPT, it was a very, very steep learning curve.
Okay.
You have an MBA, fine,
Uh-huh.
but I had to put in a lot of hours,
Okay.
additional time, to try
Okay.
and grasp you know,
Okay.
and understand the nuances of procurement. So I had a very, very steep learning curve. Very, very. I remember for the first few months, it was very, very steep. And it's required. I mean, if because when you speak to a supplier, the suppliers
Mm.
are, I mean, the wonderful people, but they can sense a procurement executive, by just
They can
one,
sniff it.
they can sniff. Yeah. Yeah. Is he a fresh one?
Uh-huh.
He's a seasoned guy. So,
Uh-huh.
you know, the dialect, the words what you put out,
Uh,
they're very, very different, you know.
okay.
So you need to be very, very savvy, be
Mm-hmm.
it on the procurement side. Now
mm,
coming to the IT side,
mm,
I had to sit down with the IT team. I said, hey, I need your guidance.
mm,
If you drop your rank,
mm, mm, mm,
I need to learn this.
mm,
This is what is required.
mm,
This I don't understand. Can
mm.
you help me?
Okay, okay.
Because I take it as a person never stops learning.
Mm,
Just
mm,
because, and the higher you climb, this
mm.
the lonelier it gets.
Okay,
Need to
okay.
step away from that and
Mm,
come, take a step back,
mm,
and just sit with the team. Okay, this is a cloud infrastructure. I
mm,
don't understand this part. Can you
mm,
explain
mm,
to me? So when I go to the supplier, I
mm.
know what I'm talking. Read about.
Okay,
Today you
okay.
have, of course, Chat GPT, etc.
Mm,
So research. So idea is to, if you want to excel,
mm, mm, mm.
you need to put in hard work. You
Okay.
can't expect, hey, just because I've earned that rank,
Mm,
now
mm, mm.
it's a cakewalk.
Fantastic. Uh, I mean, now of course you're leading it. At the same time, are you aware of any courses that anybody can do to kind of, grow in this stream
For which one?
for procurement? Are there
Yeah,
any
so
specific courses?
yeah, there are plenty of courses. I think you have Udemy, you have as a platform for people who don't want to, spend money initially.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is also doing a full-time certification on, the Charter Institute of Procurement and Supply. Then you also have a certified professional.
Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply.
CIPS, S
Okay,
CI,
okay.
CIPS,
PS.
yeah,
Okay,
CIPS. Then
okay,
certified professional in supply chain management. Then
okay,
certified supply chain professional. So there are a lot of full-time courses, and also some online courses like digital procurement and smart supply chain, strategic procurement management, global procurement management, negotiation
okay,
mastery. So there are lots and lots of courses which you can undertake to understand the nuances. Then there are
okay.
also platform ERP based, like you have for the SAP or Oracle supply chain or Power BI.
Uh-huh.
There are contract lifecycle management tools. So there are lots of these.
Okay, but I'm assuming
And
that.
no, and I had to do all that, and I did all that. So as part of a learning curve, we had to do some of these additional courses also. And that is where I think Fleet Management as a company,
Mhm.
they invest in training their employees. And
Okay.
some of these courses are not cheap. But today in Fleet Management, you have the Udemy access for everyone,
Mm.
for all the employees.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's paid for. So you
Okay.
again, that interest has to come in to take these
Hmm.
courses.
Fantastic. Any final words to the seafarers, Randeep? I know that throughout the conversation you have dropped heavy nuggets. And anyone, kind of at a lot of times I felt like I just want to sit and write down, but any parting words?
uh Love what you do.
Okay.
Take pride in what you
Okay.
do. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we move 90% of the world cargo. Yeah,
Okay.
take ownership. I think seafarers do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the day you decide to hang up your boots,
Mm-hmm.
don't be in haste. Take a conscious decision. Look 3 years ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Given today's inflation, look 3 4 years ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Plan your move. Don't
Okay.
jump on the first shore job you get. At least I would say that. You know,
Okay. Okay.
plan,
Okay.
plan. Don't be in haste.
All right, Randeep. Thank you so much for this candid conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm fairly certain people listening to would also uh, look forward to having more conversations with you because you moved from Seafarer to MBA to, being in the sales part of the IT and then FPD and procurement. I'm sure you will do something else in another few years' time. Look forward to chatting with you again as you navigate your uncharted territories.
Yeah. Thanks, Shankar, and thanks for
Thank you.
having this platform to, where our seafarers understand, see things from a different perspective. So thanks to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.